We are approaching that time of year again. A time of great exhilaration. A time of great pleasure. A time of great fear. The darker sides of all crave that latter delight from themselves, but even more so, from others. To satiate that hunger, our dark selves take interest in entertainment from tales of the macabre that appeal to our deepest fears as only mortals face. The only way to achieve this is to begin the dark ritual where Brian, the corporeal life form himself, and a special guest will discuss a particular tale during this season to ward off pure evil, as well as to entertain and to educate. Proceed at your own peril to the third season of the Serial Horror Chat. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Serial Horror Chat. And well, this is season 3, and with me for the second time, I have my friend Dreadroberts, and we're going to be covering The Grudge. What's up, Kyle? How you doing?
Yo, so Kyle, aka Dreadroberts, as if just in case things get confusing.
Yeah. So what should I call you? Should I just call you Dread?
Nah, you can call me. You can call me. I think at this point you can call me whatever you prefer. But
and you got you got to call me Mr. Corporeal. So
yeah, that, as usual, right?
Yeah, because you always call me that. Now you always call me by my first name. So
I do all the time. Sometimes with like heavy dark meaning behind it.
Brian, something like that. So I have never seen this one, and I asked you what you wanted to cover this time. And well, by the way, last year, me and Kyle, first time I think we ever did anything on together, we covered the Fly. So definitely check that out. The link is in the description. But yeah, Kyle, I've never seen The Grudge. I remember seeing that like a trailer for it a long time ago, and I thought it was just gonna be another stupid horror movie, that modern horror movie, modern 20 years ago. Yeah, modern, some knockoff of probably Blair Witch or something, which I did see as a kid. So
okay.
So yeah, just curious, what made you want to choose this one?
Well, you chose, or you saw it very recently for the first time, right?
Like today, like literally
like
today. Yeah.
So I saw this movie when I was really young. I'm probably about maybe 14 years old. 13, 14, and we were in the middle of moving furniture around in the house, so we didn't have anything in the living room, and I was by myself because some other family members were on a moving trip, or like furniture trip. And so when I watched this movie, there was a huge echo throughout the whole house, and I had no one to protect me.
Oh no! How old did you say you were?
Oh, I was like 13 or 14 years old, and so whenever the Grudge, who I find to, by the way, be an extremely overpowered ghost, every time that thing would go, like it just echoed through the whole living room, and I'm like looking over my shoulder.
Dude, that thing croaked. It was terrifying. Like the woman got a call, and it went. I'm just like, what is this?
Because the ghost can make calls, and it's all it ever has to say, and it's just disturbing. You don't know what that ghost means when it says that.
So basically, so they call these things Onryo, which are basically vengeful spirits. So whenever somebody dies and has a very deep or very strong emotion, that negative emotion stays. So I don't think it's the ghosts themselves, it's the idea of the emotion that is
that's there, but it manifests itself in the form of the victims that that were claimed. I think, I don't know, but apparently Onryo has been of Japanese custom for like, or has been a Japanese like you know, spooky tale, urban legend for the longest time. It's like a lot of, so whenever like whenever certain politicians or shoguns or politicians, or basically politicians from back in the day were killed or something, or were betrayed, let's just say bad things happened to those that did the betraying. And it got to a point where they thought that they, not only did they think that the bad things that befell the perpetrators were caused by these spirits, but that these spirits also caused like storms and plagues and all that. So what they used to do was like, they used to try to appease them by making them like they would deify them basically to appease them and all that. So I don't know what you would do here. Like, I was watching this movie, I'm like, how do you stop an idea, like a vengeful idea from trying to murder you?
Is that what is explained? I don't remember that part.
It wasn't explained. This was based on my own research on what Onryo are, basically.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
yeah, that's kind of scary. You can't really kill an idea, and once it's incepted, you can't really get rid of it until it
kills you.
Off. Yeah.
like they just walked into the house. They didn't even know, like, they didn't know anything about that family. They just walked into the house and they were targeted. Like, how do you escape that? Like they like for instance, not this character, her. She was only in the house briefly, because her mother and her brother, her brother's played by Tom Cruise's cousin. So I don't know if you could tell.
Moment she think of it like a vampire, right? Vampire won't come into your house unless you invite them, and once they cross that threshold, it's over. Maybe that's how it worked a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, we got someone in the chat. Nice. Mikey Sue's for says, we own all of the Grudge films. Do you own all the Japanese films as well? That's my take, that's my question, because there's a lot of them. Like, let me look and see how many Ju-on. That's what they're called. They're called Ju-on films. Ju-on the Grudge. But even what's funny is Ju-on the Grudge, which this movie's a remake of, even though it came out only 2 years before that, was not the first. The first is called Ju-on the Curse, and it's the same. It's basically the same story. Same story.
Even chronologically, right?
I don't know. I think so. Yeah, the Seiki. I don't know if it's. I think in the original movie, it's the Seiki family, the Ju-on the Grudge. Let me see. Yeah, he's seen the two Ju-on films too. I gotta look and see how
Very
much.
Cool.
Let me look. Ju-on franchise.
I heard the new one was awful. Like the 2019 one, I heard that people did not like it.
Dude, there's so many films. Ju-on the Curse 1, 2000. Ju-on the Curse 2, also 2000. Ju-on the Grudge, 2002. That's the original movie. Ju-on the Grudge 2, 2003. Then the Grudge, 2004. Then the Grudge 2, 2006. Then the Grudge 2, 2009. Then they made more Ju-on movies. Ju-on Black Ghost, 2009. Ju-on White Ghost, 2009. Then Ju-on the Beginning of the End, 2014. Ju-on the Final Curse, 2015. Sadako versus Kayako, 2016. And then the Grudge, 2020. And so there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 movies.
I guess you could say that it's hard to let go of the Grudge.
Okay, I think we just lost like several viewers now, Kyle. So I hate you. No, I'm kidding. But dude, like the first thing I see is this little there's like this little thing that just says, hey, there's a where is it? Where's the dialogue? It's the same, you know. It's a, hey, when someone dies and there's a strong emotion, it's gonna live on or something. And then all of a sudden, Bill Pullman's in this movie. I'm like, Bill Pullman, this must be a good movie then. If we get Bill Pullman, you know, President Bill Pullman, And
Yes.
I don't know about you, Kyle, but Bill Pullman is like the president of all cinema for me. Like he did not walk quietly into the night. I'm just gonna say.
No. No, no. I think ever since it was actually pretty cool to see him in this movie because I had recently seen him prior to that in Independence Day, but I hadn't seen him in many movies after that. I think I saw him in Dave, if I recall correctly. But
Okay.
I don't think I saw him in anything else.
He was in he was in several movies in the 80s. The movie I remember him being in was Ruthless People with Danny DeVito. That's the one where Danny DeVito plays a rich dude that is actually going to go and it's a comedy. It's a dark black comedy. He tries to murder his wife, or he attempts to murder his wife, Bette Midler. But then he comes home, he's like, "Hey, Barbara," and he has the chloroform out and all that. And then he sees a ransom. He finds out that she was kidnapped, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, must be my birthday or something." He's like happy that she got kidnapped and all that. And she's kidnapped by the guy from Beverly Hills Cop, the Judge Reinhold. And every time he demands stuff, he's like, "I'm not going to pay." Because he's hoping because they keep threatening to kill her and all that, and no, he doesn't. Oh well, thanks for being here. Definitely, yeah, cool.
Yeah, thanks, Mikey.
Yeah, thanks, Mikey. But yeah, but Bill Pullman was like he wasn't like a main character. He was like the boyfriend of the woman that Danny DeVito was cheating on, or Danny DeVito was cheating on his wife with this woman, and the woman's cheating on him with Bill Pullman, basically. So yeah, so he's in the movie, and yeah, he just plays the dumb boyfriend,
And then in this movie,
character.
he just dies at the beginning.
So apparently he's a professor in this movie, and because he walked into the house and ran into the kid or something, I like how in this movie it's out of order. Like everything is like out of order. Like you're like, okay, who is this guy? And then he just offs himself. He just pulls a Tom and Baratheon and just falls.
He's gone.
Well,
There's
maybe
no piano to follow it.
No, no piano to follow it. Yeah, look at that right there. So,
ouch.
You know what? Honestly, that actually looked kind of cartoony because he would be splat if he actually did fall. He would be complete paste, But that's how Galadriel. But here's the thing: if you watch the Rings of Power season 2, Galadriel falls from a cliff fighting Sauron, or actually Anatar, and she survives. She falls and survives.
Yeah, she also apparently lands like straight like a board or something. I have not seen that season.
Well, you probably don't, because I feel like I lost like years of my life watching that. I was like, I'd rather be watching Deadwood right now. So,
yeah.
So, so what did you? Did you see? So you saw this initially. What did you like the nonlinear type of storytelling that this movie did?
I thought it was interesting at the time, although I didn't think that I really learned anything from it being so chronologically out of order. I just remember it. I remember thinking like, oh, that's cool, but I kind of remember preferring that I just see it from A to B. But I didn't realize until many years later that it was just following the same formula of the first movie.
Mm-hmm. The beginning right here where we meet the old woman living in the house, and she's just like completely catatonic, but then she's not catatonic. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here? But I just liked how the caretaker here was just like, I don't know, like it seemed like she was here for a while. So you're just like, okay, if she's been here for a while, like why wasn't she just like offed right away or something? Like you're kind of like wondering how long this kind of took place after. It's hard to tell how much time has passed since these murders happened. So if you know what I mean. But hey, I didn't let that get in the way of my enjoyment. So this was a really creepy scene right here. We get this nice little corridor shot, and then she's just like, you hear thumping here. And I don't know about you, but have you ever seen a lot of movies where it's just like don't go into the attic. Don't go into there. Don't go into the basement, or in this case, don't go into the attic.
Pretty much in every movie, really.
Have you ever seen a movie called Black Christmas, 1970s?
Sorry about that. I have not seen the 70s Black Christmas.
Okay, so the 70s Black Christmas, I think there was a little bit of inspiration, I think, from that movie here, especially the single eye shot, because you see the killer's eye, and that's pretty much it. And then the other thing is he's stalking. So unlike this movie, which is supernatural, Black Christmas is a slasher, and then I mean it's actually considered the first holiday slasher that even predates even Halloween by 4 years.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this was 74. And you know who was in that movie? And who
No.
probably got the best death? Margot Kidder. Margot Kidder was in the movie.
Kidder?
Yeah. So Margot Kidder was the bad girl, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
The bad girl with a high body count, if you know what I mean. So
I see.
yeah. So so she probably got the best death in that movie, but the killer basically climbs into a sorority house and basically hides out in the attic. And then comes down and kills the girls one by one, basically. So
wow,
it's very stylistic, and it's very creepy too. So, but yeah, so I kind of felt that when she was going towards the attic and all that, but when she encounters the girl, yes, she encounters the girl. The way the girl is just like right behind her in the dark and all that, like right,
yeah,
right here. You know what that made me think of? You've seen Alien, right?
Yeah.
Remember when Captain Dallas is in the corridor in the ventilation duct, and then he turns around and the alien is just right there. You know, he shines the light in the dark, and the alien's just like that, and then it cuts away. That's what it made me think of right here. So
it's very similar, actually, if you think about it.
Yeah, only difference is see that right here. Oh my gosh.
So when I first saw this part, I didn't know that we were dealing with a ghost girl. I thought I didn't understand the Bill Pullman death.
Yeah,
because I hadn't seen a trailer or anything like that, so I had no idea what to expect. So when I saw like the girl pop out of there with that sound, I legit jumped. It was pretty spooky to me.
Yeah, I think I sent you a DM in real time. I'm like, bro, I did like one of those. I showed you like an emoji of, oh my gosh, that first death, and then she's just like she's being pulled up and all that. I was just like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, I remember thinking, oh, I'm so glad that Brian sent me an immortalized picture of the Grudge for me to see, so that I can always have it in my mind.
Yeah, so I got a question. That girl in the beginning right here, is this the same girl here? Where is that? Where is that? Where is that right? Where's that? I showed that in the intro. No, okay, that's not there. Oh, where is it? Remember the guy from the care center encounters her? I don't was that her?
You're talking about the girl who gets pulled up in the attic?
Yeah, I think that was her. I think that was her during I'm trying to see if I can find it. It's a very quick scene. You know, the care center. The girl walks into the care center and the guy's, oh, right here. Is this her?
Oh, that might be her.
This terrified me. Like her mouth is ripped off and you just see her tongue.
Yeah, because no one else, I think, I mean, one girl gets pulled into the attic. That might have been her. Maybe we go back and look at the eyes. Because who else would it be? Yeah, I think that was her.
I think it is her.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's her. I think it's the vengeful idea or spirit or the what do they call it? The Unrio. I don't know. It's so crazy right here. So we meet Sarah Michelle Gellar and her boyfriend. So they're studying abroad. You know, what's funny is this came out when I was in college, but these two are obviously not in college. They're obviously like in their 30s, you know, young actors.
Right.
So you see their living room. I was disappointed I didn't see a PS2 or a GameCube because this was 2004. I'm like, come on, who doesn't play video games now? So, especially in
What a waste.
Japan. Yeah, what a waste. So, so you see them praying and all that. Like then you get the so she ends up being involved. That's the dude this is the care center, and they send her to that house because the girl from this scene, the previous girl, I think it was a Yoko or something. I think that's her name. She just didn't show up. She just didn't show up. Let's not call the police. Let's just have someone else come in and all that.
By the way, I love that Sam Raimi is here.
Oh yeah, that's his. I think that's his brother. I think that's Ted Raimi.
No way.
I think that's his brother. Yeah.
No way.
Sam Raimi produced this.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it was.
I forgot that was him too. Yeah.
Okay.
Always
he was in a video game recently.
Which one?
I think it's called The Quarry. I think he's the villain cop or something like that.
Yeah, I'm right. This is Ted Raimi, Alex, the director of the Cure Center. So yeah.
Very nice.
I don't think she was getting paid for this. She was just doing this for a school credit or something like that, if I remember correctly. We never know what school they went to, but oh well, who cares? So we meet the mother again, and then all of a sudden, same thing happens. She starts hearing things. She sees the kid. I'm surprised she calls her boyfriend instead of the police. Like why is there a kid there?
So we find out later who this is, and this is why I was wondering if it's actually like the emotion that exists in the as these ghosts or unreal or whatever, or if they're actually vengeful spirits with conflicting feelings or something because of the fact that I forgot this kid's name, but he speaks to her and like introduces himself to her and everything. I don't know if it's just
Toshio. He's like Toshio. He's like Toshio. I'm just like, oh my gosh. He's just like, he reminded me of Little Danny in The Shining when he's like red rum.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if they're vengeful spirits and they're angry all the time, what is this whole thing that Toshio's doing here? Because he's dead, is he not?
Yeah. They're the father. So the Seiki father kills the mother Keiko because she was stalking Bill Pullman. So she had a crush on Bill Pullman because she was one of Bill Pullman's students because he's a professor. And they find the diary. They find the diary much later, like at the very end of the movie, and she just writes his name. She writes his name all over the place, and she draws eyes. I don't know why she draws eyes, but she does. It's creepy as hell. And then so the husband finds out, and the husband finds out, thinks they're cheating. She's cheating on him, and just murders her and murders him. And then what's funny is I don't know if this is right afterwards, but apparently her vengeful spirit murders her husband.
Oh,
so
yes,
her hair, she hangs him with her hair, and we see that at the very end. I don't know if there was any time that passed. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's got that hanging tongue too when she finds him, because she ends up finding the dad, I believe.
Yeah, and I'm just, what's up, Salty? How you doing? Yeah, we're doing the Fog in a week, so we do another late night like this. So,
oh cool.
But where is it? Yeah, he's hanging by his hair right here. Okay, we're not there. This is at the very end. So we're seeing like the backstory right here. We're finally learning the truth behind the Seiki family and all that.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, and so this kid's dead, even though he's, yeah. So right here is the flashback. We're seeing I don't know if she's seeing this, but she's basically seeing what really happened, what really transpired, and all that. So.
Yeah, Toshio's the weird ghost out of the three. I think it's like three ghosts.
Yeah.
I believe it's three ghosts. One's the jawless ghost.
He kills Tom Cruise's cousin, the dude that comes in right after Sarah Michelle Gellar and the old woman, I don't remember her name. encounter they encounter the kid, then they encounter this right here. Like, what was this?
Oh, yeah.
And the hair, like the hair and all that. I call it the hair spirit. And I'll be honest, this part did not look good. Like right here.
Oh,
This looks very. This right here, I was just like, what is this? Is this the same spirit? What's going on?
like one of the manifestations of the spirit.
Yeah. And and I'll be honest, it does look problematic a little bit. You know what I mean?
It does look a little weird to me. I remember seeing in Scary Movie 3 this whole hair thing, and the guy in the movie does exactly what I would have done. You just start grabbing the hair that's floating and just start pulling it down, trying to hide it.
Yeah, have you? The Scary Movie was pretty funny. I liked like they had like James Woods was playing the priest in from The Exorcist, basically, and the girl vomits on him, but then he vomits back onto the girl and all that. I was just like, oh my, what is this? So yeah, I miss that era of dumb comedy, dumb parodies and all that. So yeah. I don't know. Yeah, but all of a sudden, like she's catatonic for no reason. I don't think they ever explain why she is, because she can see spirits or something, and then she all of a sudden she's like, I don't talk because I want them to leave me alone or something. And this happens. And then I think we just find out, oh, she just died.
Man, that's crazy. I wouldn't be able to just sit in there knowing all those ghosts are watching me all the time.
Yeah. And so right here, so it cuts from that to this. It cuts from that and we go back in time. So this scene happens earlier. And so we meet, so she sees stuff. We meet her. This the chick from the one of the Anaconda movies. I miss movies back then where they actually have attractive people.
It's funny you mentioned that. I just watched Prince of Persia, which back then I thought was really bad, but compared to today's movies, it was actually
the one with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. I wasn't hating everything about myself while watching it, so it was nice,
Oh, you gotta watch the greatest movie ever made. Me and Steve were commenting on his one of his latest movies. It's called Roadhouse. You ever hear of Roadhouse? Actually, no, it should be called Beach House or Boat House, but not Roadhouse, because it has nothing to do with the Patrick Swayze Roadhouse.
That's the one with the UFC.
Conor McGregor is the stupidest movie ever. So you have to watch it with like no expectations whatsoever, because it has nothing to do with the awesome badassery that was the original Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze and Sam Elliott. So
sounds like a waste.
Yeah, and I swore in front of you, Kyle. I am so sorry. The last thing I want to do is swear in front of Kyle. So
how could you? How?
Yeah, I you know what? I gotta do better. Just gotta do better. So
no, it's
but I know. I liked I kind of like, so this is Tom. I don't know if you know this. This is Tom Cruise's cousin right here. This dude. Let me see if we get a good look.
Him?
Yeah, that's Tom Cruise's cousin. I don't know if you ever seen the show Lost, but he was one of the first like villains of Lost. And he was one of the first bad guys that
Lost, but I don't remember him.
He was in season 1. He was the bad guy in season 1. He was just like kidnapping people and beating up what's his name? I can't remember the actor's name that plays the main character in Lost.
Jack?
But yeah, Jack. He's beating Jack up, because he's a better fighter and all that. And then Mary from Lord of the Rings kills him with a gun.
Fun. Nice.
Because Mary, Dominic Monaghan was in that show too.
I don't know if it's Mary. I think it was Pippin, the Pippin actor.
No, Mary. It was Mary.
Oh no, wait.
Pippin is Billy Boyd. No, Billy Boyd wasn't in that show. It was
Dominic Monaghan. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, Dominic Monaghan's like he plays like the rock and roll drug addict type of character, So, yeah. So apparently, in this case, they're being haunted too. Remember this scene with the real estate guy? The real estate guy is like, "Oh, what's going on here? Why is there a full sink?" And then all of a sudden, you just know what's going to happen. A hand is going to reach out A hand's
And
going to
grab.
just reach out, or even better, a head. You're going to see a head underwater, basically. There you go. See?
Yep, there it is.
Yep. Yeah. So, and he just freaks out and starts to cry, and I don't think we ever see him. Yeah, there you go. Look at it.
It's like everything's cool. It's all good.
Everything's cool. You know what this made me think of? The whole everything's cool, nothing to see here. Remember, you ever see Poltergeist? Remember, like the realtor didn't fail to tell them that they built the house over a cemetery. They just removed the headstones. Like, you didn't tell us, you didn't remove the bodies, and in great Craig T. Nelson fashion. So, but it made me.
That's when he grabs him and he just starts yelling at his face.
Yes, very end of the movie, and because
what did he say? You forgot to remove, or you chose not to.
You didn't remove the bodies. You just removed the headstones.
Yeah, you just removed the headstones.
Yeah, because you have a house over a cemetery. I mean, you're going to piss off some ghosts, right? And then they lose their. If you remember in that movie, they lose their whole house. Their whole house gets sucked into another dimension. I'm like, what? You're like, what's going on here? So, but that's
really should have removed the headstones.
That's a serial horror for another day. I do want to cover that at some point. I don't know.
That actually is a great movie, I think, to talk about.
Poltergeist. Oh yeah, Poltergeist, great movie.
Yeah.
Carol Ann. I don't want to ever hear that name, Carol Ann, ever. Like, if anybody names their kid Carol Ann, like, you need to put yourself in a closet and never be seen again, because you know how many times they've screamed Carol Ann in that movie? Carol Ann, don't walk to light. Carol Ann, Carol Ann, Carol Ann. I'm just like, shut up about Carol Ann. So that's just me.
Hey, the mom loved her daughter.
That's true, but it gets so annoying.
That short lady kept telling them to call out to Carol Ann. They're like, I don't want to. Like, you have to. You'll lose her forever.
You have to, like that. That's how she. Because there's all the wind coming in. There's everything. There's all that turbulence. You have to. We're getting a little too far ahead of ourselves, but yeah. So we get this couple. We get a little bit of this couple for a while. They move to Japan. And she's not happy being in Japan. He's like, you know what? Give me a chance. If you don't like it within a week or two or a month or something, we'll move back. We'll move back to the States. And let's just say that doesn't happen. Or at least I don't remember if she dies. I think she does. But they think that he murdered her, because when the police come in, they say that he murdered her. And, oh yeah, they run into the kid.
Yep.
And she's in shock. Then he sees the kid, and then he sees upward, and then that's it. And then we don't see them again. Actually, no, we see their bodies.
Gone.
Yeah. So they come in, and then they've been gone for like a while, I think. I see. Here's the thing. I don't know how much time has passed between them being there and then her being there. So
interesting. Well, I mean, I thought that guy on the bottom right was the teacher guy or whatever. Is that
this is that's Ted Raimi.
That's Ted Raimi. So
yeah,
he's not that much older than he was when he met Sarah Michelle Gellar's character, right? It's not.
Yeah.
You were wondering how much time has passed.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Well, how much time has passed between these people moving in versus Sarah Michelle Gellar and Yoko, whatever her name is in the beginning, taking care of the place. Because it seems like they've been there for a while or something, or at least the old lady's been there for a while. So I don't know.
I'd say maybe like a few months, maybe months difference.
Yeah, possibly. So not too much longer. And then we get like what's interesting is that there's history upon history, layers upon layers of this movie. That's the thing that I found that was most interesting about this movie, was just layers upon layers upon layers of story. And I was like, when are we going to get to the crux of all this? Like, what happened with this family or these people, that these spirits and all that? And for a second, I was thinking, maybe we're not going to get an answer. Maybe it was going to be like, unknown. They try to, but then they run into misinformation or something, or the documents have been sealed, or nobody really truly knows what happened. So But yeah, they find the bodies up in the attic right here.
Oh, and the jaw too.
Yeah, the jaw.
Oh, there you go. Which
so-
confirms,
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, buddy.
Mm-hmm. So that explains, why she's missing. Oh yeah, that's crazy now that you think about it. So I was like, okay, we see that. I was like, what does this mean? Where's the bodies? I'm trying to see if I can see the bodies anywhere. It's a very brief shot, and they're gonna be copywriting this pretty soon. So, all right,
They find the other bodies in there too.
Yeah, I think so. It's just I can't really. Oh, there it is.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, so they're both dead. So there's time. They're both dead in the attic. So they think he murdered her. Basically, at least that's what the police report says. So,
by the way, all the police who went in, investigators, everyone are all cursed.
Pretty much, yeah. But we don't see like what happens. We do see what happens to him, the inspector, but we don't see what happens to like the partner or anybody else in there. So, because there's a whole bunch of people, It's just like it's like an infection, like it'll spread, because what's funny is it's not just being in the house, it's also being around people that were exposed to this. It's like a virus in a way.
Right, because it doesn't just stay. Yeah, it doesn't just stay in the house. It ends up following them wherever they go, and then you if you encounter, I think if I recall correctly, if you encounter the grudge that somebody else is suffering from outside of the house, then you're also cursed.
Anybody we know?
Oh, hey, that's my brother. Literally,
Slim Striker Snowflake. Yo,
literally a snowflake. I love it.
What's up, buddy? How you doing, buddy? What's up, bro?
We're just talking about how you just can't seem to fight Onryos at all. You can't combat them. Can't beat them. And I think that the whole curse, because you saw the second movie, right? You saw the second Grudge?
No, I saw the first movie for the first time today.
Well, second Grudge, that hints at a whole like the Grudge going global.
The same family too, or is there more? Are there more vengeful spirits basically?
I believe that more people are added into, or grafted, I should say, into this vengeful spirit entity. So like it uses these people that it's killed to terrorize its victims.
Mm-hmm.
So, but like it spreads even further. Like it starts. Actually, no, wait. If I recall correctly, because I know we're not talking about the second movie, but I'm trying to think of a specific instance where somebody got cursed while not being in the house, but I'm not sure if that actually happened now that I think about it.
Yeah, because like her right here, she was barely in the house. She was only in the house for like a few minutes. Like she was just in there, just like saying goodbye and all that, or just like as they were moving in and all that. So she was barely in the house yet. Yet this ghost is going, or this spirit is going out of its way to harass her, even though she hasn't been in the house. It's like this is the one time where she is being stalked, and this was terrifying. Like she barely, so she's only in the house for like a short amount of time, and she's being stalked and harassed and getting phone calls and starts seeing things in the what do you call it? Where is it? And this is at her work too. This is not at home. This is at her work.
Yeah,
like
I thought that this was the scariest part. This lady right here, I think, got the scariest.
Yes, because she was literally like, the thing here is there's nowhere she can go. Where can she go? She can't go to. There's no safe. There's nowhere to be safe. No,
especially in the place that you're supposed to feel the safest, which is under the covers.
Yeah. What do you think of this little effect right here? I mean, like you see it come up. I honestly thought this was a psychological thing that only she could see. Apparently not, because this was caught, and the inspector saw this too. Several scenes later.
So, did the detective see it because he stepped into the house, or because the camera caught it?
That's a very good question.
because we know that the Grudge terrorizes its victims like with visuals. It does what it can to strike fear into their hearts.
Yes.
So because it's vengeful and evil. It likes to, because that's what they explain in the second movie, or at least the second American movie, even though it's like not the best movie. But they say or basically manifests itself as people that the main character knows in order to terrify her and terrorize her.
Yeah.
So
she sees that. She doesn't even wait for it to come close to the camera. She just runs right away. She's like, oh, yeah. Screw this. Because if I remember correctly, I think the creepier part was when she tries to get into, like, I don't know if this was an office or something. But like she tries to go into a room, and you get this.
Oh yeah.
This was like the lighting was perfect. Like
that was freaking scary.
Yeah. And so she runs away. Gets the security guy. I don't even know if anything happened to him. I don't think anything happened to him. He just went in, looked. He's like, oh, nothing there.
Yeah. And so far.
Yeah. So she goes all the way home. Sits
remember
down.
She's in the elevator, right? Because she's in the elevator and she sees Toshio on every floor.
Oh, that's right. That was a great shot. Where is it? Yeah, right
there it is.
Here.
She gets in there.
Okay, I don't want.
Was he naked?
He was naked. He was naked, but this is PG-13, so I'm assuming they did something.
They must have blurred it out or something, but
definitely
I never remember that part.
Blurred out his little, ding-a-ling,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But this was great. I was like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, he gets right up there too. He puts his face right up into the glass at one point.
Yes. And she didn't notice. And then she gets a phone call and she hears her brother, who is, Tom Cruise's cousin. And and then what's even weirder is she sees him through the peephole. Open right here. She sees him through the peephole, opens the door, nobody's there. So I don't know if she let it in or does she have to let it in? There's a lot of questions here, Kyle.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Kelly, tell us. Kelly, you know more about this probably than all of us combined. So what's going on here? So
I think I don't know. I think I thought similarly back then too, that like she opened the door and then the Grudge crawled in over her head or something in the ceiling. But maybe it's just like an instantly teleporting creature. I mean, obviously can move through floors. It can manifest itself however it wishes, and it's a curse, and so it doesn't really obey the laws of physics or reality. It just kind of
exactly.
It can just pop up anywhere, and it pulls her into somewhere. So it's clearly an interdimensional thing.
That's
from one dimension to another.
That's another thing. Where did it take her? Like she is completely gone. This is the most terrifying part. By the way, David Glenn, what's up, David? How you doing? Thanks for being here,
David.
So she sees, and this is a terrifying part too. Looking like, have you ever looked in your cover to see something like this? Wait, where is it? Oh, come on, let's see it.
Remember, it pulls on her first because she ends up shifting against her will.
Yeah, it pulls.
Oh, you were just short.
Yeah, and then the covers go down.
We have to see the money shot though. We got to see that Grudge's face.
Yes.
Right there. Oh no. Oh, yep. She feels something. Grabs her.
I gotta pause it really briefly.
Pause it. Oh my gosh. At this point, you can't do anything. You're done.
No, what can you do? Where did it pull her to? Did it take her to
maybe
hell
back
or something?
to the house? But clearly, it can clearly move through dimensions. It pulls her.
Yes.
It's not like it's pulling her into the bed. It's pulling her through some kind of portal, either back to the house or just into the void to kill her. And then I don't know.
You know what this made me think?
Soul.
You know what this made me think of? There's another movie that John Carpenter did. Another horror movie he did. It's called Prince of Darkness. Have I ever told you about that one?
You did. We actually had a conversation about it.
So remember, so in that movie, and I did show the clip. You know, I did show a clip in the trailer where you see the hand moving towards the mirror and all that. Well, in that movie, there is in that movie there's God, and then there's anti-God. Or like, you know, like there's matter and antimatter. Well, there's God and anti-God. And the Prince of Darkness, or the devil, is like the son of the anti-God in this movie. Do not ask me any questions. This is John Carpenter, or somebody was trying to make up their own version of Judeo-Christian stuff. Apparently, the Prince of Darkness in this movie is a green tub of liquid, basically. And apparently, there's a dimension called the anti-heaven dimension, or hell, or maybe it's hell. I don't know. But apparently one of the characters tackles somebody, and they fall into the mirror, and the mirror takes them to like hell, where this monstrous anti-God lives. And it just, I saw that movie, and I was just like, it's so messed up to think that you are stuck in hell for eternity.
Dude,
with creatures that will torment you forever. Like that's beyond my comprehension. And I'm thinking something similar with this. Like she took this character somewhere where she's going to be tormented forever and never to be seen again by anybody. It's one of the most unsettling things in the world. It's like, it's so dark.
Yes, I mean, I couldn't, like, these are like the worst ways to go imaginable. And yeah, I think maybe it took her back to the house, because that's what happened to everybody else. I mean,
we didn't see it, so it likely didn't happen.
Yeah. So there you go.
But yeah, it's just like, you know, it's just like you know you're going to be gone, and you know your time is up, but no one's ever going to see you again. There's going to be no closure for loved ones. It's such a mess. It's just, when you think about it, like, that's one thing I found so compelling about Breaking Bad, was just that idea has been talked about forever, because they have to hide the bodies. So what do? They dissolve the bodies. Yeah. And then so nobody knows whatever happened to them and stuff. So it's stuff like that, just that I find very compelling and messed up. I don't know. That's why I like horror. And it challenges my emotions. So what can I say?
Well, that's why I like this movie too, because it's so psychological. It doesn't really rely on gore. It just kind of relies on what you think might have happened afterward, and it's really scary to think about. And I think that that interdimensional travel is true, because the same thing happens in the second Grudge movie too, where a girl is pulled through a mirror, and you don't see her again. So yeah, this little spirit loves to travel through wormholes.
And you know what's funny is another this whole surreal aspect, like hearing some of the music made me think of, like I said, like some Silent Hill Resident Evil game soundtrack from the 90s. But it also made me think of the soundtrack, the creepy soundtrack to original Nightmare on Elm Street, which was also a very psychologically surreal type of movie, because it takes place in dreams and all that. So I don't know. And you said pulling someone into a mirror. Have you ever seen the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street, the 2010 one?
Yes, I did.
Remember how that movie ends? He pulls someone into a mirror. He pulls the mother into a mirror. And I was just like, okay,
very similar.
Yeah, very similar to how the first one ended. But the first one ended, he pulls her through a door. it was like, okay, that's obviously a dummy pulling through a tiny little like the little window on the front door. I was like, what is this? You're like, what is this going on? What's going on here? So, but so that whole family is dead. Like that. Here's another thing that I find challenging watching movies and shows and all that. When a family is depicted and the entire family dies, it's a hard thing for me. It's a tough thing for me sometimes. Yeah. Because there's no one left of that family to, get justice. And and what's funny, and what's not funny, but what's even more terrifying is it's so common in real life. Like whole families have been murdered and stuff by bad people. And it's just like, you see this in a show or a movie or something. And it's for me, it's hard.
Yeah, I can understand. I can understand seeing kind of have it being hard to watch that stuff when it has such a bleak ending. Especially, I kind of like I enjoy horror movies that have people who go out of their way to try and stop the evil in the horror movie. I feel like if if an entity can be defeated and the bad guys defeated, it also gives the entity purpose.
Yeah.
It gives them more of a. I'd say that like making an enemy defeatable, something that can kind of complement both the hero and the villain, and giving them both something to fear, kind of gives. I think it makes scary villains especially more compelling.
Yeah.
But I've always been kind of 50-50 on the bad guys winning scenario.
Yeah. Sounds like someone is knocking on Kyle's door right now. So, but yeah, so here we have here's the inspector. So he's looking at the same recording, the same surveillance recording that the girl from the girl that just got pulled into her bed looked at. So he sees it, but we get to see the entire thing right here. So she just walks towards the camera, gets closer and closer until you see her eyes look right into the screen right here, and you're kind of like, does she know that he's looking at it? Is this all psychological? This is why I think this was psychological.
Oh yeah,
everything right here. So the wide eyes,
the scary part.
Wide eyes always scare me. I don't know what it is. It's so terrifying to look at.
Yeah, and I agree. That was probably psychological.
So I'm taking it. So yeah, so we get to, so she does a little investigating of her own. This is the wife of Bill Pullman's character. So yeah, and she sees all the pictures, and the woman, like I said earlier, the wife, the woman, the one that's stalking them, was stalking him the entire time. She's in every picture. She's in every picture of his. Every picture. And I thought this was like a supernatural thing. No, this is real. Like she was in every picture.
But this woman wasn't haunted by the ghost by the end.
No, she was never in the house.
Okay.
So I think maybe in later movies, if you're connected to someone who has been, that might be the case. But in this movie, no, she was just there. And then we finally get Bill Pullman. So we see him in the beginning, and now we finally get to see him here. And so he finds out that he's being, this woman is a secret admirer of his. She sends him letters. He gets the address, goes over, and the thing already happened. He sees the kid, takes the kid in. The kid's just like in shock or something, but he's not really there. It's weird that he's physically there, but yet he's not there. This was a tough movie to grasp. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think there were several plot holes actually. Again, I don't like, this isn't really, I mean, Toshio's dead, so there's no real way that he, like, if it's just a vengeful spirit acting solely on anger and wrath and stuff, then why is he showing up as an innocent little boy just kind of like having a convo?
Yeah. And he's just like, and he's just like, I think they had him in there just to, like I said, just to be freaking little Danny from The Shining, basically. So, and you get this nice little imagery right here of like a family, and then what was the meaning of this? Like the head of the mother was cut out in like every picture or something. I guess she really hated her husband. Well, of course he murdered them. Of course he would hate him.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe it was Toshio who did it, or maybe maybe it's just the spirit acting solely on emotion.
Yeah, and I like here how she talks to him, and she's like, okay, what's going on here? And he tells her, oh, this happened, a few of my colleagues died. He's like, what? She's like, what can we do? And he's just like, I'm sorry.
Nothing.
He literally said, I'm sorry, you're screwed. In other words, he's like, you're screwed, lady, you're screwed.
He's like, is there any way that this ends positively? He's like,
nope. It's hooked on to you, buddy or lady. So, Yeah, so he decides, you know what? I've had enough of this place. I am going to commit a crime. I'm going to commit arson right here. So he brings in all the gasoline, and this is where I'm getting pissed off right here. I'm like, dude, he hears a kid and he goes up the stairs. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Just burn the place and get out of there. I'm just like,
Yeah.
dude, what are you doing? And then he goes into the bathroom, and then I think it's the husband. He sees the kid, tries to save the kid, and I think the husband comes in
And drowns him.
yeah, right there, and he's dead. And then she comes home. Her boyfriend's not there, and he leaves a message. I'm going to the house. I'm like, why is he going to the house? But we need to have a final scene, so she runs to the house.
Yeah, I wonder why he wonder. Oh, he must have been looking for her or something, but I don't know.
Yeah. So he goes in. The gasoline's still there. We don't see the body of the policeman, but she comes in, and this is where it gets weird. So now she starts seeing into the past, or was she pulled into another dimension? What the hell was going on here, Kyle? Can you explain this to me?
I have no idea. I don't know if she's clairvoyant. She's a spiritual medium and doesn't know it. Maybe the ghost is luring her in by showing her remnants of the past. I don't know.
That's possible. And so she hears somebody, and that somebody is Bill Pullman. So Bill Pullman's there. And then Bill Pullman basically finds the kid playing in his room, but then he finds the body of the mother, which doesn't make sense because I thought the kid got killed too. So
interesting.
So yeah, so this is all the artwork of the mother and all that, and then he comes in, so finds the diary, this creepy diary right here. Pictures, and then there's all these things. Okay, so maybe she did this. There's all these things on the wall, and this is probably blood, if I had to guess. And
yes.
opens the attic, and then she's in there, basically. She's dead.
Oh, you dude, that would freak. Dude, and then her eyes lock on him. Oh yeah,
Yep.
man.
Yep.
Oh yeah, man.
And what does he do? He runs, because that's what I do. I'd be out of that house.
I would do the same thing. Well,
yep. See, he's out of the house. And then all of a sudden she hears some thumping. And then we find out that, the father was hung by the hair.
Nice. Honestly, it looks like he's doing a dance move.
But not his change, and he's got his tongue is out. So maybe his jaw was ripped out too, or something. I don't know.
No, she just pulled his tongue really. He hang. Yeah. He hung. So
yeah. And so so now we get to see the flashback right here. Basically finds the diary, murders them. Look at that face of Sandy.
I think the cat gets pwned too.
Yeah, he drowns the cat. he kills the kid, kills the wife, kills the kid, drowns the cat, and yeah. And so she's like, "Okay, I gotta get out of here." And then there's the boyfriend. There's the boyfriend, and then she comes down, exorcist style. Okay, so we see more. So we're getting a little bit of an exorcist style right here. She's going down the stairs, but this is very terrifying right here.
Yeah, you should show him that little. Oh yeah, it's all like stop motion.
Yeah. Look at this. This is like a butt, like a spider or something.
Yeah.
And so she just goes to the wall and doesn't help him. Like, look at this. I'm like, Sarah Michelle, what are you doing? Help him, get her off of him. Yeah,
lets her boyfriend go.
Yeah, that's another issue I have with horror movies, is that they make the female characters so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what would have happened if she had kicked her. Just kicked her off. I mean, she is
probably nothing.
Probably
nothing, but still, you gotta do something. You're not gonna let them, eat your boyfriend.
And why was Noah just laying there?
And he's dead now because you did not act. This is creepy. You're just crawling like this. Where is it? Yeah, well, he's dead now because of you, stupid.
Oh,
you go.
dude, when she opens the door, dude, you have to go back and show that part. Oh, dude.
Look at that.
I think that this is personally, I think this is the best shot in the film.
You think so?
Because of the way, yeah, just go back at like right before she opens the door, and then when she shuts the door, it's just such a great shot. It's like one of those classic, just like monster popping out to scare you shots. Yeah, calls over and she's like, "Sorry, Noah, I did love you at one point, but tonight, my love is gone.
I'm too scared. I'm too scared.
Yeah, I don't love you anymore. You can get eaten by this Japanese ghost."
Yeah,
He's
look,
like,
he dead. He's
like,
dead now because
like
you
really
didn't do anything.
He's like, "Bruh." All right, so
Right.
she's like,
Yeah, I can't keep playing this. I'm definitely gonna get hit. Oh well.
just a little bit back, just I think. Okay, cause yeah, right there, right there. Oh,
What's she
oh
doing
yeah,
there?
that's right, because it turns to her. So you've got Toshio and the jawless chick and the doorway ghost. The doorway ghost.
Oh yeah. And so she tries to light the match. Like, just get up and get out of there. What are you doing? And then she stops. She tries to stop. Oh, there she goes. And then it just goes to white. And then she's alive, I guess.
Yes, she's alive. It's like, you had a really rough night. You
A
committed
black
great
eye.
crimes against Japan.
Yeah. Black eye and
Yeah,
goes
because
to the
the
body.
ghost.
Yeah.
The ghost got a good sock into her eye before it dissipated.
Apparently. And then she starts to cry. I'm like, okay, lady, you are the reason he's dead. You
Yeah.
are, well, okay, maybe it might not be fair because you can't really do anything about a ghost, but still, you could have done something. And then she finds out. I was totally expecting a jump scare. You get a jump scare, and yeah, where is it?
Wait.
There you go. She's still there. The house survived, and therefore they survived. The vengeful spirit survives, and she did. She gone.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the end of her story. So.
Well, almost the end until you see the second one, because then Sarah Michelle Gellar's cousin comes to visit, like, "Oh, how's my cousin?" She's like, "Oh, she's still crazy," and she's still admitted. He's like, "Okay," and then Sarah Michelle Gellar's character commits suicide at the hospital.
Really?
And then the cousin
she was in the
investigates.
movie. So she was in the movie.
She's at the start of the second one. Yeah, but her cousin's like the main character in the second movie, and I think she gets the worst of it, to be honest.
Who, the cousin?
Because yeah, in the second movie, she has a student counselor, and that student counselor ends up going to that house later on in the movie with some other students of hers, peers of hers.
Yeah.
And so when she goes back later to talk to the counselor, she has a whole conversation with the counselor, and then she's like, I just wish that I just feel bad for all those girls, they're just gone now. And then the counselor's like, "No, but they're here with us right now." And then she looks to her right and left, and her two dead classmates are sitting right there next to her, staring at her.
Yeah.
And then she looks, and they're all like looking at her all with dead, scary eyes. And then she hears croaking and like a weird moan, like and she looks back, and her counselor is also dead, the one that she was just talking to. And they were all grafted to the Grudge. And so she ends up running out. It's like everyone's getting taken over by the Grudge. It's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm maybe I'll check out the sequels and all that, but yeah, man, this was the Grudge. Not much to talk about other than it's just your typical early 21st century horror from the 2000s, and yeah, I liked it. I mean, it still had some of the issues of it being of being a horror movie and all that from that era, but I enjoyed it. I still enjoyed it despite its flaws. I thought it was terrifying when it needed to be, and yeah, apparently it's a franchise, and
No, huge franchise. It was great. I think after that movie, I watched the movie, and then me and my brother went to play outside, and just we stayed outside in the night in the bright sun, just thinking about how great it was that we weren't inside in the
Oh,
dark
yeah.
watching it anymore. Like, man, it's like that was a great movie. Yeah, it was. And like, so we're never gonna watch that again. Like, yeah, nope, never again.
Never again.
Uh,
But yeah, this movie was originally called Ju-on, and it was directed by Takashi Shimizu. So not only this was another case of a director making an original movie overseas and then making an American version. So he didn't write this, but I'm assuming the person that wrote this movie basically adapted what he wrote, and so it's pretty much the same story. So
yeah.
but there was a couple other cases that this has been done where you have a foreign director make a movie in their country and then direct a remake based off of their own original work for the US. So there's a movie here. I'm going to look it up right now. It's a movie. It's a movie I showed a few people. There's one movie that I really like. It's called The Vanishing, and I'll share my screen right here. So the first movie I'm talking about is called The Vanishing. It's a movie that is about a missing woman, and her fiance is obsessed with finding out what happened to her, basically. And what's funny is in this movie, we get two characters that the movie covers. We get the fiance that's looking for her, and the perpetrator. The other point of view is the perpetrator who is responsible for this girl being missing and all that. And it's a very compelling story, and it's very, very. But let's just say it ends on a very terrifying note. Terrifying to the point where Stanley Kubrick himself was floored by this movie. And so this is the French this is the original French Dutch version. So
is the Vanishing this specific one here is the one that made Stanley Kubrick do a double take?
Pretty much, yeah. So yeah, this one came on in the 80s. Let's just say they did a remake a few years later. Let me see if I can find the remake. Yeah, so the George I don't know if I pronounced the name right. Sluitzer remade the movie, and he remade it with Jeff Bridges as the bad guy, and then Kiefer Sutherland as the fiance, basically. So there's a difference though. This version has a happy ending, whereas the original, this one, does not. And you'll know what I mean when you see it. This is a really good movie. I'm just going to say it right now. And let's just say a certain character, let's say a certain Quentin Tarantino kind of stole a shot or a scene or a quick scene from this movie and put it in one of his movies. I'm not going to tell you which one.
Oh, crazy, man.
But let's just say that scene, when I saw that Tarantino scene I saw in theaters, was actually really, really disturbing for me when I saw it. Like it took me a while to get used to it. So, and it's still terrifying. So
I'm gonna have to see this one.
I have it. Well, I have the Blu-ray. I don't know. I'll have to see if I can find a means to watch it. But yeah, I'd love to show this movie to you. I showed this movie to Dempsey when I met up with him. So yeah, this was a good one. So this is one example of a movie that was made by the movie and its remake, its American version, were made by the same director. Another movie that was done by this is called Crazy Games. I think it's called Crazy Games. Or no, that's not called Crazy Games. It's called no, not Crazy Games. Funny Games.
Funny Games. Yeah, I despise the story of both those movies. Well, the first, the original, and then the German one, and then the American one. And the German one was just such an unfair. Actually, the whole thing.
Yeah, well, they're both the same movie. They're both
Yeah.
the same movie. Like they both have this. Well, yeah, because it's the director was basically like, I'm gonna make a movie where where the bad guys win totally, like
Yeah,
totally.
yeah.
And
Well, to the
it's
to
a
the point where
it's
they
a
even break the fourth wall and break the laws of physics and reality to do so.
yes, and that's basically to tell the audience this is not meant to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
Even though but it's that same idea that I brought up earlier. Because when I first read up on this, I was just like, bro, this is messed up. Like an entire family gets killed, basically.
Yeah.
But then when they show the whole, so they in the movie, in these movies, there's two perpetrators, two bad guys. One of them gets killed by the mom, basically, and the other dude basically takes a remote and
Yeah.
manages to rewind reality back to
Rewinds
where
the entire encounter.
he rewinds the entire encounter and then knows what's going to happen, so they off her because of that.
Yeah.
It's messed up. It's messed up. But the hardest part was there was a kid. There was a kid that was a victim too in this. We don't see it, thankfully. They could never show it, but it happens off screen basically. It
Yeah.
happens off.
Messed up movie.
Yeah, it's a very messed up movie. If you're a parent, you're gonna be like, no. So like Kyle, for instance. So I'm sorry I even brought this up, but I think the remake was also made by no, wait. I think it was also made by Michael Haneke. Let me see. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah. No, did he? Did he? Where's his films? Yep, he did both. He did both the original and he did the other one. So yeah. Yeah. These are the only examples I could think of, but I'm sure there might be more. Who knows? But yeah, I think I'm good. It's been an hour. We got to talk the movie, and Kyle, Dreadroberts, friend, is there any final thoughts you want to say? Anything you want to promote?
Yeah. I think I had such a much more enjoyable time watching movies back in the day. I think it's like I'm always searching for a good movie these days rather than just being like, which good movie
The
do I
needle.
pick
It's
from?
like you have to find like a needle or a gem in a pile of crap, basically nowadays.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
It's like we're all going over old movie. You know, there's so many people going over old movies these days because it's just like, what is there to talk about with the new stuff? And I'm glad that that's something that we will always have,
Yeah.
at least until the government comes in and takes all our movies away. But who knows if that'll ever happen?
Oh. Hope not.
But I think that this movie was probably one of the scariest I've watched as a kid, and and that came around the time when I was watching movies like The Ring and stuff, where little scary girls with long wet black hair were scaring and killing people.
That was another reason why I probably didn't see this, because I did see The Ring. Everybody was talking about how scary The Ring was, and I watched The Ring, and maybe it's because I'm not as into supernatural horror as other people. But like I was just like, the girl jumps out of the TV and kills the dude. I was just like, okay, all right. But then again, if I would watch it now, I probably understand why everybody was terrified by it. But back when I was a kid, I was a dumb teenager. What can I say? If it wasn't if it wasn't a slasher, it wasn't gonna terrify me back then.
That 7-day phone call thing, that was all the rage, man.
Yes,
that
it was.
the 7 days, like, dude, I swear, I used that saying so many times. I would like call my own mom while she's at work. She's like, hey son, what's going on? I'd be like, 7 days, hang up. And she's like, please tell me that was you who called me earlier. And I was like, what do you mean?
That wasn't me, Mom.
That wasn't. I don't. The phone. Someone called you. But yeah, it was a great movie, and talking to you about it was wonderful as usual. And yeah.
I know it's been it's been a while since you've been on the channel. I mean, I talk to you almost every other day. So
yeah,
it's not like we don't hang out at all, but yeah, man. Is there anything you want to plug and promote? I know you've been really busy. You've been killing it on YouTube. I think you're almost at 22,000 subscribers now. So congrats, man. Now
Thanks,
I'm just
man. I'm working on it.
now I just have to say, officially that I am latching myself onto Dreadroberts so I can boost my. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But the purpose of Chilporial is just. I mean, I do like to, like sometimes some people will bring their regular viewers on, and then so they'll be exposed to my channel, and hopefully they can, come out and, you know, hang out. If I do stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, you know what you
the
were always
purpose-
saying, like, hey, once you get enough subs, Dread, you're gonna stop talking to me. And today, to this day, he's wrong. To this day.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, yeah, like when people get big enough, usually that's where the ghosting. That's where the ghosting begins. That's where the ghosting begins. So
Nope.
no, he's right. Wrong Porial is
Wrong Porial. Incorrect Porial.
incorrect Porial. Wrong Porial is a thing that only happens once ever. So. So yeah. By the way, congrats, you've been really killing it. So, what's next on the Dreadroberts video game journalism? I saw you've been posting about Ubisoft stock, which is brutal, man. That stock, whoever, that's a scarier horror movie right there. Being an investor, a longtime investor in Ubisoft. Like that's
You
scary.
should just like be a Ubisoft employee and you've got like the worst job in the world instantly.
Yes. And it looks like stock was going up a little bit, so apparently people are buying into the dip or something.
Oh yeah, because now Ubisoft's CEO is considering a buyout, and so that's something that you actually see when when a company's about to go through a leadership transition. Like people
Yeah.
say, oh, they're about to get a change, the stocks might go up if this guy leaves, so then they buy in at the bottom of that dip as much as they can. Like it's got to be like one or two people, no, not one or two people, like a handful of people who were keeping an eye on it because of how like steep the rise is, because it's not like a gradual rise, like a bunch of investors are coming in. It feels like a group of people coming in and just buying a crap ton, getting ready for whatever's coming next. So maybe they'll see a jump, but like to go, everyone's like, this is their comeback. Like, bro, like you're talking about like them going back to the tippy top point of where they were back in 2018, which just can't. It just won't happen. Like what the happening from this? No. But anyway, but yeah, Ubisoft in short is going through it,
So
and
is the
many people are entertained.
Is the Guillemot family selling it to a Chinese investor or something? Is that what's going on?
They're considering taking the company private, and they're considering a buyout to Tencent Media, which are China and CCP, and so I'm just like that's basically what they're considering, which was one of the investors, the dissenting investors' demands was that they take the company private. But I think overall they want the CEO gone, and I'm sure the CEO is going to do everything he can not to let that happen, since he's been with the company for like the longest time.
Who? I remember, like I've seen this guy at E3 several times.
Yves Guillemot, yeah.
Yves Guillemot.
Or they say Guillemot or Guillemot. I say both.
Guillemot.
Yeah,
Guillemot.
But I mean, like,
yeah.
I thought everyone's like, oh, cool, sell to Tencent, China's base, but I don't think so, because Tencent and Guillemot have had control of the company, or like they've had their 10%, 15%, and they've been making business decisions and preventing future business partnerships. They've basically kept the company from being the best it can be, and everyone's like, well, then just sell it to Tencent completely. But it's like, one, they push DEI, and two, they haven't done anything with the company since they've had it. Like all their profit has been removed. Like they've lost it all. So it's like, why would you want to sell it to them? They're like, that's why I was saying in my video, which wasn't like the most popular thing ever, but I went out and I asked Elon Musk if he'd buy it, because I'm like, well, if he's gonna buy Twitter, maybe he could buy his own game studio, and it'd be hilarious too.
I mean, he made a game as a kid, so I mean, he knows how to. Well, I don't know how much he knows about the industry, but yeah.
Well, I mean, he loves gaming too. Like whenever he's not innovating or like sending his crews out into space. He's playing Diablo and like streaming it to millions. So I'm like, why not just buy your own game studio and implement it with X somehow? Create your own, like, just get into that realm since you love being in it so much. It's better than selling it to China. Everyone else is like, let it burn, but I'm like, dude, it would just be so funny. Anyway.
So what's okay? So what's happening? So where you gonna be? Do you know what you're gonna be covering next, or you're just keeping your ears open?
Well, I was thinking of doing a Ghost of Yote video tomorrow, but if not, then people will probably see me making a video on Monday. But I do gaming news every week, so if anyone crosses by my channel, they are always guaranteed me to be talking about something crazy in the gaming industry. And often I do my own research and do kind of crazy things pop up. So yeah.
Kyle's link to his channel, Dreadroberts, is in the description. So at Dreadroberts, so definitely click on it and subscribe if you're new here. I'm assuming everybody's here is already subbed to you anyway. So,
well,
but
I don't know.
anybody that's not though, anybody that's not, his link is in the description. Definitely click on it. Subscribe to him if you're interested in any type of video game journalism, especially anything about Ubisoft, anything about Assassin's Creed. What was that one called? Assassin's Creed.
Shadows, yeah.
Shadows,
and I got to be
Yasuke.
careful not to become like a Ubisoft reporter guy. It's like, that's the Ubisoft guy.
That's yeah. Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, he covers all types of games. Well, except for Nintendo, obviously. And well, it looks like he got another sub, Kyle. He got Hammond. Hammond sub to you. And me.
Thank you, Hammond. And he subbed to you too. Great job. Yeah, congrats. Thanks, Hammond.
Thank you. So Kyle, yeah, definitely any streams coming up?
Right. So maybe tomorrow night I'll be gaming. I have a couple things I'm interested in streaming. So tomorrow night I'm going to try and stream. It's been a couple weeks too. Ever since Kaida showed me up and or it made me look like a noob in Space Marine 2 a couple weeks back.
I was playing that with you. I was a noob. I was a total noob, but I had no idea how to play it.
Oh yeah, we were being absolutely carried.
I was struggling through the tutorial part. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so maybe tomorrow. Maybe Liar's Bar, or it's either that or maybe another. I don't know if I want to do a playthrough or if I want to do a multiplayer. So I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay,
so we'll see.
All right.
Yeah.
So, cool, man. Thanks for doing this with me. This was a lot of fun talking the Grudge, and I got to see a movie that I didn't think I'd ever see, thanks to you. So there you go. So for me, there's still a lot of video content out there that I've done. People still watching it. I still get some comments, but yeah, video retrospectives, TV show recommendations, movie retrospectives. It's been a while since I've done a video, but 2001 is supposed to be my next video retrospective. I haven't really put in the time to do it, so which is a tough one because it's Stanley Kubrick, and there's so many layers upon layers of themes and messaging that's out there. So I mean, I'll try to do my best to cover it and everything.
You got to get that out there for sure.
Yeah. So. That I mean, video project wise, and of course, I meant to make a monster recommendation, an anime recommendation for the show Monster that I think I showed you. You saw a few. I think you saw the first episode.
I have seen a few episodes now.
So that's one thing that I promised a while ago from one of my videos. Because one of my excuse me. Whenever I do a video, I always try to tease what my next project in that particular series or genre is or something. So movie wise, it's 2001. Anime wise, anime recommendation wise, it's Monster. And then video game wise, and I haven't done this yet. It's been months since I did my Metroid retrospective. I'm supposed to do an educational Mario series, especially from the 90s. When I was growing up. So like there was Mario's Missing, Mario's Time Machine, and Mario Teaches Typing. Those are the three that I'm going to cover eventually. Because I grew up on Mario's Missing, because Mario's Missing was a geography educational game. And the thing was, it was on the Toys R Us catalog, and I thought it was a regular Mario game, but you played as Luigi. And so I get the game for Christmas in '93, and I think back to it, we got screwed basically. They failed to say this was an educational game, or I didn't realize it was my parents didn't realize it was. So, but I did learn quite a bit, and I won a few geography bees because of that in school.
Oh, dude, excellent.
Yeah. I mean, I first learned the city of Rome, and I learned quite a bit about geography from playing Mario's Missing and everything. So
always learning something cool from video games, man.
Yeah, and Mario's Time Machine, same thing. You go back in time. You have to take an artifact. Bowser's stealing artifacts. You have to return the Declaration of Independence to Thomas Jefferson, and you had to return Isaac Newton's apple back to him. And you had to, in order to prove that these are authentic, you had to fill out like a worksheet, a fill in the blank worksheet, in order to do that. So it was definitely like doing homework in a way. But yeah, I learned quite a bit. So. But yeah, and then Mario teaches typing is the reason why I could type, basically. So that was a fun little game.
Wow, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, those are videos that were out there are still on the docket, and I'm sure there's others I want to do. But the next serial horror is actually going to be on Wednesday. So me and another buddy of mine, White Cloak, named Pips, we're going to be covering, and he's not a horror fan, but I was like, hey, you're going to like this one. We're going to be covering Silence of the Lambs, because Silence of the Lambs is a critically acclaimed thriller, one of the best, and it's a really good movie. It's a really good movie. So we're going to be covering that on Wednesday. Chilporial is going to be on Friday. I'm going to be having the one and only Sub Commander Tal on X. He's a big handle on X, and we're going to be covering original Star Trek series because he's a big original series fan, and he probably knows way more than I do. So that's going to be a fun stream. And that's going to be on Friday, and then Saturday night, me and Salty Traveling C we're going to be talking The Fog, John Carpenter's The Fog from 1980. So basically, this fog just comes up to this town, this town on the ocean, and the people and the ghosts in the fog start killing people. Yeah, and it's a fun.
I think movie. I saw The Fog with Tom Welling, like in the 2000s.
That's the remake. But yeah, Tom Welling, and I forget the girl in that one, but yeah. But yeah, that's that. And I think we're gonna, me and Miss Martin Muses we're gonna be doing The Omen. I think the week after that. I haven't confirmed that yet, but we're gonna be doing that. We're definitely gonna be doing that. Have you ever seen The Omen? You haven't seen The Omen.
No, you asked me. No, I have. I know what it is, but I haven't seen it.
That's a very terrifying movie. So you have the guy that directed Superman, the original Superman. Directed that one. So what the hell's his name? I can't think of his name.
Crazy.
What's his name? Richard Donner. Richard Donner directed that one. So you know stuff's going to happen in that. And then Gregory Peck is in that movie. Gregory Peck plays the father. So the father and the wife have a son, but they find out that the son is not really theirs. I don't know if the son was switched or something, but then they find out the son was born from a jackal, and the son is actually the Antichrist. And his name is Damien. And bad things start to happen because he is part of their life and everything. So a lot of indirect deaths. It's almost like Final Destination, but in the 70s type of deal. And there's a lot of mean dogs. So remember we were talking about dogs in The Dark Knight? Well, there's a lot of bad dogs in this movie. Like these, there's bad dogs that just want to, eat your face and all that. So yeah, it's terrifying.
Well, they always got to use dogs to kill people, man.
Yeah, David Warner's in the movie. His death is very memorable. I'm not going to say how he dies, but it's very memorable. You'll know when you see it.
Okay.
And oh man, it's just talk about Gregory Peck's wife. That's oh man, I'm not gonna go into that either, but it's so good and it's so terrifying. It's so brutal. That movie is ruthless. That movie is totally ruthless. And a little 6-year-old boy is a ruthless little kid. in that movie, basically. So,
Nice.
but that's The Omen, and yeah, hopefully I do want to cover that, and I'm trying to ask other people if they want to do serial horrors and stuff. So try to get your brother and me to do Hereditary,
Maybe
but
you, me,
that'll
and
be
Kelly
after
could
Halloween.
talk. Maybe you and me and Kelly could talk Poltergeist.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, is there room for a third person in serial horror?
I don't know. That's up to you. But I know that the conversation would be great because Kelly loves movies like that, and I've always thought that Poltergeist was one of the better. Was one of those really just like had it all movies, in my opinion.
Did I tell
It's just
you
like,
that the very first scary movie I ever saw as a kid was Poltergeist 3?
oh really?
It
No,
was
I did not know that.
it was Poltergeist 3 takes place here in Chicago in a sky rise. And the part of the movie that I'll never forget, first part, the earliest thing I ever saw that scared me was there's a puddle scene in that movie where hands just come out of the puddle and pull the boyfriend into the puddle, into the water. Basically, the puddle becomes like a water and then all that. And yeah, that just scared that crap out of me. So,
Oh man.
and yeah, it was the same girl. But then again, what's funny is during the production of that movie, the girl actually passed away. The actress that plays Carol Ann passed away from Crohn's disease, and so they had to have like a stand-in, they had like a double stand-in for her for the rest of the movie. So she gets kidnapped because the actress is no longer with us, and so they kidnap her, and then when they get her back, you don't see her face. They hold on to her and you just see the back of her head. So,
Wow.
yeah. So yeah, so we got Jacob Ironside and Gray showed up. Nice. Thank you guys for being here and everything. So,
Yes.
but yeah, so thanks Kyle for doing this with me. And yeah, let's close this out with the intro to Serial Horror. You want to hear that intro again? Did you like that intro? Did that pump you up, make you feel spooky?
Oh yeah, it definitely put me in a mood of I need to run away as soon as possible.
Serial horror chat. Yeah. So, all right, guys, have a good night, and we'll see you guys back. We'll see you guys back here on Wednesday. Later.
Night.
We are approaching that time of year again. A time of great exhilaration. A time of great pleasure. A time of great fear. The darker sides of all crave that latter delight from themselves, but even more so, from others. To satiate that hunger, our dark selves take interest in entertainment from tales of the macabre that appeal to our deepest fears as only mortals face. The only way to achieve this is to begin the dark ritual where Brian, the nurporial life form himself, and a special guest will discuss a particular tale during this season to ward off pure evil, as well as to entertain and to educate. Proceed at your own peril to the third season of the Serial Horror Chat.